everybody. I'm Isabel Tom, and I'm the author of the book, The Value of Wrinkles, a young perspective on how loving the old will change your life. So I'm like baking in the kitchen today and making cookies. Don't worry, I am not pivoting and becoming a food blogger. I'm not going to be giving you tons of recipes. In fact, that's not my thing. I had something happen that I wanted to share with you while I was baking that I thought brought up a pretty good point, and that made me think of older adults, and that's usually where my thoughts go to, even though I'm a mom and I have 3 young kids, and my grandparents have passed, and I'm not really working actively in the senior care field right now. But okay, this is what happened. I am making cookies, and I definitely added way too much of one ingredient. Like I added 2 tablespoons of vanilla instead of 1, and then I was like, this is horrible. I messed it up. And some of you guys are very meticulous and exact people, but this happens to me like all the time. And so the thing that I know though is because of my age, people, if I made that mistake, people would give me a lot of grace and be like, oh, you just messed up, you know, it's nothing. And they would still really value me. But if this happened to an older person, I think a lot of times we don't even realize how we can start, how in our society there's so much ageism and we don't even recognize it. And what happens is when we say something that is offensive and discriminating against an older person and not even reflective of all older people, it can be so detrimental. But also, I think in our society, older people are really just not valued, and so they won't speak up for themselves. They won't tell you that it's offensive. They won't say it's not okay. They simply try and fit into the mold of being younger. This is why I feel people try to hide their age. This is why people want to act younger, because sometimes when you're older, or a lot of times when you're older, at least in our society, people automatically think of you as not capable to do a lot of things. And that's just not the truth. I have worked with older adults, and I have worked in the field, and I have, lived with my grandparents, but also, hung out with their friends, and oops, that's the first batch. Okay. Anyways, let me go get that before I forget, because if I am capable of forgetting or adding an extra ingredient, then I'm also capable of totally screwing up cookies. So let me just get this out, and hopefully you don't even look into, oh, it's not ready yet. So here it is. If this happened to an older person, there are 2 things that could happen. Number 1, if somebody said, people may likely make the judgment and say, oh, she was 85, she's getting older. That's why she forgot something. The other thing that could happen is somebody may say, if you're my age, a lot of times you may say something like, oh, I'm getting old because I made a mistake, and you would laugh about it. And I think it's like, some people may say, what's the big deal? But with all the talk about racism right now, I mean, our words do matter, and sometimes we don't realize that we are being highly offensive, that we are talking down and devaluing people with our words. And so after working and serving older adults, like, I have become a lot more conscious about saying I'm old and joking about it, because what does that say about the older people that you know? If you are in your 20s and 30s and you start joking about how your body is breaking and you're getting old, when you say that, you are not saying that getting old is a good thing. And so that could be not just offensive, I think it can really make older adults feel sucky. It can make them feel like the older that they get, the less valuable they are. And I think that's why you can see a lot of times either older people trying so hard to stay independent, because I think they're trying to prove something. I think that's they don't want to accept help, and I think that's another reason why older adults may isolate themselves, like, and just feel like nobody wants to talk to them because they don't want to be a burden, because the way that even they may have viewed getting older when they were younger may have been negative. And really, if you read my book and if you hear my story, it's like I have come to see that older adults are a gift from God, and I think a gift that we don't really realize, like the true gift that we have and how good it is. So there you go. From somebody who constantly is absent-minded, loses things, adds extra ingredients. It's not because I'm getting older. Sometimes it could be because of, cognitive decline and different things like that. But we don't want to jump right there. That's just not. It's just not a fair way to. It's just not fair. If you liked this video, please subscribe, hit that bell, because I think that's what you're supposed to do so that you find out more about my videos. I try to post one every month, and if I can, I try to post more. So I hope this just gave you some food for thought so that you would see that even in our thoughts, there are ways that we can honor and bless the older generation more, because our words and our thoughts about getting old ourselves and our thoughts about the aging process really do affect the older people around us. So thanks a lot for watching, and we will check on these cookies that beeped like 3 minutes ago.